Fragrance review because I just got a fragrance that I have been wanting to try for a while. I'm just gonna get right into it because what I want to say is about to segue to it. I've been waiting for this perfume to arrive so that I can make this video specifically. Perverso Baruti. Please focus. It's not gonna focus. Perverso Baruti, so that you guys can spell it out later. So this perfume, wow. So let me explain to you guys the projection and longevity this has. I'm not going to have any structural organization throughout this video, so I'm very sorry. I'm just going to speak about every perfume that I have here individually and, yeah, speak about it. So Perverso Baruti, this perfume, I need you guys to understand. I went to this niche perfumery that sells, like, these high-end, like, different, cool indie sort of perfume brands and stuff like that. And I checked this one out. I sprayed it once on one of the paper testers. And I was like, whoa, captivated. I didn't even have to bend down to smell it. I didn't have to approximate my nose to smell it. I could smell it from the moment it was sprayed. By the way, the spray, I don't think you're going to be able to see it, but that's a spray. That is a hefty spray. Let me push it over to me. So first of all, I got home after that afternoon that I was at that perfume shop. I could still smell it on me, and I need you guys to understand. Like I said, I sprayed it once on the paper. I didn't even spray it on me. That smell, the aura, stayed on my clothes 4 hours later after I was home already. On top of that, the next morning, I wake up, I get a small little waft of it. So this shit is potent. This shit is insane. I swear to fucking God. Now to get to how it actually smells. Extremely sweet, but somehow not nauseating at all. And I think there is a tartness to it that comes from the rum note that I believe appears on Fragrantica, right? There's like a rum note here, and I think the tartness of that cuts down on how sweet this is. It's not cookie sweet. It's not, well, yes it is. That's the thing about this. It smells like sugared waffles. It smells like, if you're Mexican like me, you know this smell very well. It kind of smells like dulce de leche, like that really caramelized brown sweet stuff. Holy shit. Like, this is sweet as fuck. There's also, like, it's very airy. It's like a unisex fragrance. I'd say it leans a little more to the feminine side. It has, like, this airiness, this dryness to it. Not necessarily in a floral, powdery way, but more in, like, a bread way. Like, it's such a it's, like, gourmand, but, like, it's hedonistic. This shit is hedonistic. This shit, you spray, you're like, whoa! You know what I mean? You're like, wow, what the fuck? It's sweet. It reminds me of Frank Sinatra's music, fireplaces, and gingerbread men are being made in the oven, and you're cuddled up on the sofa with your gay little husband, and it's the 80s. So that's done with that. Next up, we're going with Latte a la Caramel. You can get this one at Claire's. So this one is very, very sweet. It smells like a blast of vanilla and caramel. It's about as good as you can get for 17 euros. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine, I guess. It's very potent, though. It will last you a very long time. I would say, though, that it does have a bit of a synthetic-y sort of smell to it that might give you a headache and a little bit nausea after a while since it is so sweet. It doesn't have quite the tartness that Perverso has to cut through that sweetness. Like I said, the longevity is pretty good. I feel like I have a jacket that I sprayed on it once, like maybe a month or two ago, the last time I wore that jacket, and I could still get reminiscence of that smell. So this does have a lot of longevity. When it comes to sillage, I don't quite know, because my issue is that I don't get a lot of compliments. Like, in general, I don't get a lot of compliments. Like, very rarely do I get compliments. There is one that I have gotten compliments on, though, and where is it? Let me grab it real quick. I think I put it in my backpack. My gay little backpack. Yeah. Montblanc Explorer. I don't care what you motherfuckers say about this shit, because I know there's some haters out there. And here's the thing, the reason why people hate this fragrance is not because of the smell itself, but because of the projection and the longevity. And let me fucking tell you, one of the biggest ingredients in this that makes you think that it has poor projection and longevity is the ambroxan. It's the ambroxan, okay? Because the truth of the matter is, this shit does actually last you a long time. You just go nose blind to it, because this is one of the strongest smells in the world. This is such a strong smell, your nose literally has to adapt to it and normalize the smell. So in reality, even though you think it doesn't last at all, because trust me, this, I can barely smell it after 2 hours, factually. Everyone around me can, though, and I know this for a fact, because I applied this at like 6:30 a.m. a couple of days ago, and I didn't reapply, I didn't respray, I went to work, and then at like 4 p.m., around 4 p.m., okay, so like 6 a.m. I sprayed it, 4 p.m., I sat down near some of my work friends, like basically, I was getting a break at work, right, and I decided to sit down in the canteen, and my friends were sitting at a table, so I sat down next to my work friends, and immediately they were like, whoa, you just like, what is that perfume? It smells amazing, like, it just feels like I suddenly got a wave of, like, your fragrance, and it's very potent, actually, and I feel like I'm explaining more and justifying more the longevity, because it's one of the things that this perfume most gets shat on, honestly, because the truth of the matter is, this smell, I feel like you already know about it by now if you know anything about perfume. If you don't know anything about perfume, think of the most manly, fresh, like, almost metallic-y, masculine fragrance. Like, imagine, like, a guy, right? He goes to the gym, he leaves the gym, he takes a shower. He gets out of the shower, obviously, at the gym. He puts on this perfume. He goes to a nightclub. This is what it smells like. It's very It's like what you think of when you think of a masculine smell. I, as someone who didn't know much about perfume, thought that this was a blue fragrance, and so I kept looking for blue fragrances, thinking I would get something like this, and I never did. Turns out this is actually more of a green fragrance. I didn't fucking know that. Anyways, it's just so deep and, like, sexy and aquatic almost, like, fresh, and, like, it's just a very masculine. Like, and it dries down with a bit of, like, mossy woodiness. It's just, like, wow. For me, 10 out of 10, this is, like, my staple. I've been wearing this every day for the past, like, week or two, ever since I purchased it. I just love it so much, and it gets compliments. Like, my friend, literally, one of my friends from work, right, I was in a room, like, a minute or two before she entered that room, and then I had left that room, and then she entered that room, like, a minute after I was in it, and she sent me a message, and she said, "Were you in this room?" And I said, "Yes, why?" And she was like, "I can literally smell your scent trail." That's how strong this shit is. I don't believe what Fragrantica says. Most of them have gone nose blind to this, because ambroxan is very powerful. Anyways, so we reviewed Latte Le Caramel from Claire's, Explorer from Montblanc, Perverso by Baruti. Next up, Star for Men by Maboussin. So this perfume is kind of a bit of a hidden gem. I don't think it's my favorite, though, because there's, like, a certain plasticky petroleum kind of smell that I get from this. But if you guys want the rundown, I think there's a bit of patchouli, because there's definitely, like, a sort of mintiness aspect to this, but it's mostly a very woody fragrance and slightly sweet. I don't know quite how to explain to it. I kind of like the plasticky dry down, I'm not gonna lie, like that synthetic sort of petroleum smelling almost dry down. I think it comes from one of the woody notes, I'm not gonna lie. Either way, I wouldn't say it's my absolute favorite, because it is a lot. It's quite a bit, but I like it sometimes. I like to combine it a lot with, now that we're moving on, when it comes to projection longevity, I feel like the woody, plasticky, sort of deeper, sort of aromatic, almost incensey sort of note, it lasts you quite a while. I just wanted to get that out there, the longevity. When it comes to projection, I have no idea. I barely wear this in public. I should probably wear it one day just to see what my friends say. I've thought about, ever since I've received this Perverso by Baruti, I've been thinking of combining these two because I feel like the woodiness of this one, like the sweetness in this one would bring out the little sweetness in this one, and the woodiness in this one would accentuate the rum notes in here. But anyways, let's continue. Eros Versace. I know nobody likes this fragrance because it's literally like a ripoff of like Montal and Aventus Creed and all the other ones, and what's that other one? Club de Nuit by Armaf? Yeah, Club de Nuit by Armaf. I know that this is like basically a rundown version of that one, but I have to say, you know when some, like you have like a really shitty circumstance in your life that leads you to a much better one? Like basically at one point, like this is basically what that was for me. This is how I found out about Montel Explorer, because I for a very long time had a very difficult time describing what that dry down is. If you've smelt it, you know what I mean. I mean, obviously the fucking, whoa, it's like a blast of lemon. It smells like lemon candies, whatever, right? It's very lemony. I know, I get it. I do like it kind of, but I would layer it with more of this to bring out more of that woody dry down. But let's continue, right? The dry down to this is how I found out what I was looking for, because I smelt the dry, like basically they gave me a tester at the perfume store, right? And I just went, you know, oh, spray, right? I sprayed it. After 20 minutes of walking in the mall, that dry down kicked in. I was like, whoa, this is what I've been looking for, because I've been looking for this for a while. And so I was looking it up. I was researching it. I was like, what the fuck is that note? That's how I found out it's like ambroxan and some of the woodiness like combined, and it creates that really potent masculine smell. And that's how I found out to this. So honestly, God bless this perfume. It's great for any beginners in the sense that beginners will stumble onto this, think, oh, Versace Eros, buy it thinking it's something else. They spray it. They're like, whoa, I like that. They research, they find this. So honestly, and no, I'm not planning on buying Aventus Creed. Sorry, I got really defensive. I'm going to show you a series of perfumes that I bought in hopes it would be what I was looking for when it comes to Montblanc Explorer, right? So first of all, Caravan Fragrancias 19. You find this at Continente, which is a retail store here in Portugal. I don't know if you'll be able to find this anywhere else. I couldn't even find it on Fragrantica. And I found some really niche shit on Fragrantica. It's very fresh. It has like these, it's very alcohol-y, I'm not gonna lie. It's very fresh. It has like a melon note that I quite enjoy. And I like wearing this. The projection and longevity is like medium, whatever the fuck. It's like 3 hours maybe, you know. It's also, it's like 12 euros. Who gives a shit, you know what I mean? So I don't mind it. I spray it usually on top, layered with the Montblanc Explorer, and or my next little favorite gem, Colors Man Blue by Benetton. I think this one's underrated. This is a very blue fragrance. It's very fresh. The opening is a little strong on the tequila, but I really like that melon note. I really like the sweet wateriness of that melon note. And then the dry down is actually a little powdery, a little smoky. So I actually, this is a really unique fragrance for like maybe like a beginner who wants to try something new. And I don't regret it. I really like it. It makes me feel like an absolute slut. You know, so great. In sequence to that, I also bought the Colors Man Black. I really wanted to buy the Colors Man Black Intense because apparently that one has like a but I couldn't find it, and so I bought the Colors Man Black in hopes that it would be like what I'm looking for, and it's not. So it's a little sweet. I don't quite know how to describe the notes to this one. I feel like it's a little similar to the Maboussin Star, except significantly less woody and maybe a little too strong on the patchouli. I would not repurchase this. I can't wait to finish this bottle. I'm not gonna lie. In the sense that I don't want to throw it away with still some product because mama didn't raise no... I mean, dad, honestly, didn't raise no... I mean, I'm not saying my mom's not present in my life. She is. My parents are both very present and happily within my life. My dad was just a bit more frugal, so I'm just gonna put this aside. Next, we got Acqua Fresca Bellini fragrances. This is another one of those that you will not be able to find on Fragrantica because it's literally bought at Lidl, which is a retail store that's usually all across Europe, right? And Lidl, I love Lidl. I love Lidl. This perfume, very strong on the lemon notes. Not quite the lemon notes that you'd find in Versace Eros Energy. Maybe more like a limey sort of note. It's very citrusy, very alcohol-y, very fresh, very airy, not very deep. It's about as much as you'd expect for a 4 or 5 euro perfume. Good to layer, maybe. You could layer this with something else, but I haven't quite experimented with too many of my other options, so I'm gonna just put this aside. Next, Golden Decade by Zara. This is a very sweet perfume, also not one I'd recommend if you're someone who gets easily nauseated by sweet perfumes. Don't hate it though, but I don't like Zara objectively as a brand and everything that they stand for. However, I like the sweetness of this combined with, there's almost like a rummy, sort of rum-ish sort of notes that are in this one, as well as orange. And I quite like orange peel in fragrances, I'm not gonna lie. It's very like, Golden Decade. It really does give sunset vibes. If a woman was wearing this in my proximity, I would be very happy to try to talk to her. Guys, I'm getting engulfed by all the perfumes I've sprayed. But yeah, Golden Decades are not too bad for feminine fragrance, pretty budget friendly. If someone was wearing this, it's a little soapy too. It has a bit of a soapy dry down, like soapy dry down. I like it, it's fresh. Probably not my favorite though. Makes me kind of dysphoric to wear it. Lamel Jean-Paul Gaultier. This is a classic. Everyone loves it. Everyone knows about it. I've gotten easily nauseated by it a bit after wearing it for too long. I really want to pair it though with the Perverso by Baruti, just to see like if the depth of this one adds to, you know, this one, because some perfumes really are just fine by themselves. These are both perfumes that are perfectly fine by themselves, but I do want to try different combinations and layerings just to see. I tried Montblanc and Lamel the other day, fucking sucked, so don't do that. Anyways, this one, deep, rich, sweet, watery, masculine, an absolute date night fragrance, a total gourmand, very like beautiful, very well done. It's just a masterpiece. There's so many layers to it, it's hard to explain. I think there's a bit of oak moss into this, which adds like this greeny sort of smell to it, but it is mostly a sweet, like luxurious fragrance, and I quite love it. Love it. Like, thank you, Jean-Paul Gaultier. Also love the bottle. And Davidoff Cool Water Aftershave. This smells good. I will say though, a little too green for me. I wanted to buy the perfume. I accidentally grabbed the aftershave, went to the counter and paid for this, opened it up outside the store, realized this lid looks kind of funny. Oh, it's not the perfume. So I've been using the aftershave. The aftershave is a little greener than the perfume. But you know what? I don't mind it. I use this, honestly. And I don't even have facial hair yet. I don't even have facial hair yet. I just put it on for the smell and to dry down any pimples and oiliness and ingrowns, because I do kind of shave here a little, because I have a little bit of hair here, but not quite enough to be noticeable enough. And so that's my little perfume collection. That's all I have to say. I'm not going to give an intro. Fuck you.